And there's no such thing as original sin. They could choke down your throat that you sinned just for being alive. That makes no sense at all. You committed no sin by being born. Okay, I Googled, I said, what the Bible says about original sin. The Bible has several passages that are often used as a basis for the idea of original sin, including Genesis 3, the story of Adam and Eve being tempted by the devil in the Garden of Eden and eating the forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge. This is often seen as the moment when sin first entered the world. Okay, I got a problem with that to start with. Okay, Adam and Eve ate the apple. Eve ate the apple, right? First. And then she became aware of herself. She became I am. She became to know herself. Then she got Adam to eat the apple, from what I understand. And he began to know himself. And they became as gods. It even says it in the first part of the Bible, which we'll go over that too. But reading on, Psalm 51:5 says, I was brought forth in iniquity, and did my mother conceive me. So, the Bible, or whatever verse this is, this Psalm 51:5, is saying you sin just from being born, alive. You didn't ask to be here. I don't think it's a sin for a tree to pop up through concrete. Nothing is impossible. Everything is just life. And then it goes, Paul's epistle in the Romans 15:12-21. Therefore, just as entered the world through one man, and death through sin, and in this way death came to all people because all sinned. Now, y'all have heard me say before, I think we're gods. Now, your body is part of God, but it tells you your body will wither away. But what makes you lives forever. So I don't think if there's an original sin of being aware of yourself, and that's a sin, then I'm guilty as charged. We're all guilty. But it goes on to say in the Bible that through Jesus came down, and through Christ we were saved. No, Jesus came down just to tell everybody, these things I can do, you can do too. Jesus was a messenger. Some call him a Messiah. Some say he wasn't. I don't know. I weren't there back then. Okay. So it goes on to say original sin is a central idea in Christian theology, both in the Catholic and Protestant churches. It is the idea that every human is born into a state of sin, which is a result of Adam's original sin of eating the forbidden fruit. This sin is said to corrupt human nature and give people a tendency to sin. So, because you became aware of yourself, it's a sin. You became I am. But remember, before Eve ate the apple, she didn't cover up. She weren't embarrassed. Everything was blissful. She was happy because she wasn't aware of herself. She wasn't I am. She couldn't contemplate the future, the past, or the present. So the Bible is choking down your throat. It's a sin because you became aware, because you're alive, because you know who you are. It's a sin. It's a sin to know who you are. The Bible is choking stuff down your throat. The original sin is not having the good that God desires for you. That's the original sin. Not having the happiness, the health, and the love that God desires for you. Not being the best you can be. Not living up to your full potential. That is the original sin. Not out here committing a crime or something. Because what is a crime? Somebody trying to get ahead, somebody trying to do better for themselves. Most people want to get along and are just happy to let people be. Just like the spider to a cricket. It's what's chaos to the cricket is normal for the spider. It's not a sin for the spider to eat that cricket. It's not none whatsoever. It's normal for him. But the cricket's babies have to starve to death. Same concept in nature. The original sin is not having the good that God desires for you. Sin is not what they're choking down your throat of because you became aware of yourself, you sinned. That's the most nonsensical. That don't even make sense. Because you couldn't be who you are if you couldn't say, I am Millard. Or you say, you are John, I am John. You are announcing the presence of God within you. And they're trying to tell you it's a sin because you have God within you now? You have the spark of the infinite and creator within you? It's a sin? No. That don't even sound right. Comment, subscribe. We'll go over more stuff. I'll go over more Bible verses and give my take on them. I'm not perfect, but I think I'm aware of more things, and I think I feel things and see things differently than some people might, and maybe it'll help jar some of y'all.